What's up, guys? Welcome back. It's been such a long time. Relax, girl. It's only been like 2 weeks, but still it feels like it's forever because I haven't been keeping up. But if you've been keeping up, you've been keeping up on Patreon, you know, patreon.com/MMA. Like, I talk more about what's been going on an everyday basis. But if not, then make sure you subscribe to this channel so you can keep up with my journey, see what I'm learning. You know, you're learning with me, and I'm talking these things because of the things that I learn, I reflect upon. I show my journey in an MMA perspective, and at the same time in an everyday me perspective, Nene perspective. All right, relax. Okay, so a lot's been going on lately. Fights, grappling tournaments, celebrations. Yeah, it was my birthday. I know. But thank you everyone that told me happy birthday. It's really interesting, but most importantly, 2 of our guys fought this last week and we didn't get what we hoped for. It was one of those things that you think about, like, damn, like I wish that didn't happen, you know. But as a teammate, you're there for your teammate. You want them to win. You want them to succeed in the sport, and you see their potential in the gym. You see how hard they work, and you're like, damn, like I really want you to win, bro. I want you to win. But then life has its turns, and some people have to go through what they have to go through. I don't know the reasons why they went through this, but it was not their night. And so I see myself, you know, from a different perspective, as a teammate perspective. I get to witness their evolution. I get to just watch. I've been in the perspective of a fighters where I know what it's like to go through a fight camp back to back, go through that weight cut, the pressure, the emotional roller coasters, the hard work. Like, I've been in that position, but now I get to watch this other position. And seeing your teammates lose is like, damn, bro. Like, it doesn't feel right. It feels like, I wish this didn't happen to you, but at the same time, we don't know the reasons why, and we can't control the outcome, but we can only control ourselves. So we're not feeling bad about it anymore. We can't feel bad about it all the time now. Like, even after the fact, we can't feel bad about the situation. I mean, it sucks when it happens, but then you have to learn from it. I've learned a couple of things from this fight camp that they went through. And the first things first is you fight how you train. Like, we're always repping moves, we're always repping techniques. We're always training our bodies. But one thing that we sometimes forget is to train our minds. And that's the biggest thing in MMA. Your mind has to be trained no matter what. Like, for one thing that I saw in this fight camp is like mental training, because both of the fighters, they've been doing this for a long time now. And so it's not that they need to physically train for these things. They need to mentally train their brains to be like, you know what, we're gonna go in there and we're gonna go in there to win. We're gonna go in there to give it my all. We're gonna go in there to be the best. That's the type of mindset you gotta train for, right? But at the same time, you have to be ready for what's to come. Whatever happens in the cage, you have to be ready for it. And so that's the biggest thing. You train how you fight. It's crazy, but you can't be half-assing in the gym and expect the fight to be different. Like, that's not the way it works. Like, if you ever seen like professional dancers, they practice constantly, and they practice at home, in the studio, whatever. And then when they actually do performances, exactly how they practice is how they're gonna perform, with the same attitude, with the same, with the same, all of that, all the passion and the energy. Like, that's the same way that you're gonna perform in there. So it's the same thing with fighting. And so that was my biggest takeaway. Second thing is, you have to fight for a purpose. You just can't go in there and not fight for a purpose. Like, one of the things that I've been asked before, and even I have asked myself, is, why do I fight, right? Why am I fighting? Like, if I fight to get the validation of others, I'm never gonna get that. Like, that's never gonna happen, because no matter what we do, that validation may never get there. And so why fight for other people when you can only fight for yourself and you give yourself that validation? But it needs to be there before you fight. Like, a fight shouldn't be a factor as to why you should be confident. Like, you have to love yourself. You have to validate yourself first before you can step in there. And so the biggest thing is finding a purpose as to why you're fighting. Like, anything that you do in your life, it should have some sort of purpose. Whether it's good or bad, it still needs to have a purpose. Like, if you just do life without a purpose, then you're not really living life. You're just going through life and just dying it away. Like, you're literally just gonna die and without a purpose. You're like, there has to be some sort of purpose. And so one of the biggest takeaways is that, like, you need to find that within yourself, and you have to be honest with it. My last fight that I had, I felt like I had to prove myself and other people that I'm good. I had just been injured and I recovered from it, and you're like, you know, I got this. Like, I graduated from college, so I'm like, you know what, I got this, and I'm gonna show you that I got this. And I wanted some sort of validation from my family, because they're like, you know, at that point I didn't feel support from them. So, you know, I was just like, I'm just gonna fight, and they're gonna see that I'm a badass and that I can do this without them. Like, that was my thing, and that's not the way that I should have. Now that I think about it, like, that's not the way I should have done things from the beginning. I should have been real with myself and handle all the emotional trauma that I had to focus on from the beginning, and I should have just faced it and healed from it before I stepped in there. Because a fight shouldn't be the reason why you should feel like you need to validate, you know, the love of others. Like, a fight shouldn't be the reason why people should love you, or people should accept you, or just because you wanted to look cool, or because everyone thinks it's cool and so you want to do that because you want to fit in. Like, it shouldn't be that. It should be because you genuinely love it, and because you want to learn, and because you want to be the best. Like, that's what it should be. Now, like, putting all these things together that I'm finally expressing and actually thinking about and making sense of it is what I see now. Like, I should have done that for myself, but this is a lesson that we all have to go through. You have to fight for a purpose, and you also have to train how you fight. Now that I see the fighters and I see the outcomes, it's like, I ask myself, how can I prevent this, right, from happening to me? I mean, I can't control life, clearly. I can't control the outcome on a lot of things, but I definitely can control how I respond to things and whether or not I want to learn from it. So if I want to learn from it, I have to be more open-minded, and I have to be honest with myself and want to change. That's my biggest thing. I want to change. I want to be better. So I will make the right changes, but it's only me that I'm going to do it. No one else is going to do it for me. Not my coach, not my teammates, not my boyfriend, girlfriend, nothing. Like, it's just gonna be me who changes, okay? And so that's my biggest takeaway. And yeah, are you fighting for something? And so you tell me, are you fighting for something? Are you fighting for something? And are you honest with yourself?